Hello, my name is Kathleen Rzucidlo, and I am honored to have been nominated for the position of First Vice President for the Delaware Valley section of NCNW. I first came to NCNW 6 years ago during my time in undergrad at East Stroudsburg University, and in 2018 during my first year of being the advisor for the Cheney University section of NCNW, I decided to become a lifetime member. As a candidate for First Vice President, I want to address my vision for the section, my skills in regard to the position, as well as I want to leave time for a moment to reflect on a quote that was selected by the Nominations and Elections Committee. So my vision for the executive board for the Delaware Valley section is to be an executive board of its general body. We cannot and should not be able to move or even want to move without the support of our general body members and our overall community. When I was first approached about the opportunity to be a member of the organizing committee for this soon-to-be section, I couldn't refuse an opportunity to potentially bring one of the most impactful and influential women's organizations not only to my home county, where I was born and raised in Chester County, but also my current community and county where I reside at the moment, Delaware County. Specifically, as First Vice President, of course, in the end, the initiatives that we will act upon will come from the general body and our community needs in which we see most pertinent to serve. But some of the projects that I would like to initiate, if deemed acceptable by the general body, would be a menstruation hygiene drive to help end period poverty and the stigma around menstruation in our area and our communities, voter registration and political workshops to not only encourage people to get registered to vote, but also to get more people involved in politics, whether that's running for office or campaign management, but to get more of a presence in our local politics. Entrepreneurship workshops, honest conversations about mental health and the resources available to our Black and Brown community members specifically. A mentoring program co-chaired by whoever will be in the position of third vice president to reach out to our collegiate members, as well as a college planning 101 initiative for our high school students, an annual Thanksgiving meal drive, and many more initiatives to help support every member of our community. Some of my most pertinent skills to take into consideration for this role are my skills of event planning. I've used them in many leadership roles previously. My mental mindset of servant leadership, often reflecting on the quote by Dr. Dorothy I. Height, "If you worry about who is going to get the credit, you don't get much work done." At the end of the day, I want to see our community served and assisted regardless of how we go about that. And most importantly, the skill and overall ability to delegate and include everyone in the process. So I myself am not the only person making events or coming up with ideas. This is a group effort with the committee and the general body. And to close, the quote that we were asked to reflect on was one of Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, quoting that the true worth of race must be measured by the character of its womanhood. And the question is, what does that mean to me? Or in my mindset, who does that mean to me? In 2014, I attended my first NCNW meeting where I met some of the most amazing women. At the time, the section president, Sharon Glasgow, who is now our state convener, taught me that Black women are phenomenal. Miss Deborah taught me that Black women are spiritual and strong in their beliefs. Miss Cassandra, or Mama C, taught me that Black women are kind but should take zero stuff. Dr. Ginger Farrell Williams taught me that Black women never settle and fight for what they want in life. Dr. Marilyn Brown taught me that Black women love hard and can stick to a budget. Miss Eunice taught me that Black women can do anything. And overall, the Greater Pocono section of NCNW taught me that Black women give back and invest in their community with an unmatched love, regardless of the support that they may or may not receive. And if there is love within your circle, that is enough. Black women have taught me that in a time where we still see Black lives being disrespected systematically in every area of being, whether that be education, healthcare, career opportunities, real estate, politics, banking, and so much more. The lesson that I have been taught and call on others to do is that white people must do more. White women specifically need to be doing more work to help call out these injustices and serve our sisters to ensure everyone receives the same treatment, whether that be in a school, in a hospital, in a bank, or wherever they find themselves. It has never been enough to simply just vote blue or to sign a petition. There are things that must change systematically in order to see a change in our daily lives, and that comes from white women abandoning their comfort zones and using their privilege to have these concerns heard by other white people. In the words of Audre Lorde, whenever the need for some pretense of communication arises, those who profit from oppression call upon us to share their knowledge with them. In other words, the responsibility of the oppressed to teach the oppressors their mistakes. So she often summarizes women are expected to educate men, lesbian and gay men are expected to educate the heterosexual world, and the oppressors maintain their position to evade responsibilities from their own action. By relying on the oppressed to educate the oppressors, we as white people have the opportunity to evade our responsibility. And so I wish to be in this role and act in my life to no longer evade responsibility, but to stand with those who need it. So I challenge myself and those who find privilege in any way that we must first take ownership. The fact that we belong to a group that has contributed to this systematic oppression for other groups. And if Black women have taught us anything, it is that Black lives matter, and it is now our turn to listen, learn, and act so that the world can now act and move accordingly to recognize that Black lives matter. And I want to end this video on a note of gratitude and thank you for taking time to watch this, get to know me a little bit more, and I hope to meet you at the Meet the Candidates event. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a restful, safe, and healthy holiday season.